My New Year's resolutions was to make a bit of a setup for my reviews. And as you can see by the looks of it, I'm still trying. So while that's still trying to be worked out, I do have a review planned out, and let's get on with that, okay? Alright. Retrospective of Titan's Return. Now, Titan's Return as a line was pretty great. We got some good stuff, especially this guy. Now, explaining everything I can, Combiner Wars was part of this whole Prime Wars trilogy, where there would be Combiner Wars, Titan's Return, and Power to Primes. Combiner Wars, as the name states, had Combiners. Titan's Return, as the name states, has, like, Titans. I don't know, in Power to Primes, we get the Primes. I don't know. The names are a little confusing, but whatever. But Titan's Return, practically the whole thing is that, imagine a head on a robot, comes off, and becomes an even smaller robot. That is the gist of this guy. And as you can kind of see, this is blending in, yeah. Let's change that real quick. I promise I'm trying. So now that we have it a little bit more presentable, just looking at this thing, it's amazing. Oh yeah, I didn't even say the name. This is Titan's Return Hardhead, deluxe class. And he looks amazing. Besides 3 Autobot symbols, and, you know, looking a little weird. He's always been this kind of H-tank looking guy with a big orange cockpit and this amazingly big cannon, which, yes, if you lift it, you can get all kinds of articulation. It can go back as much as you want. You can probably make it to where he's shooting himself. You can rotate it, which is something you can't say for all tanks, especially in, like, other reviews, which will be coming soon. Totally not sponsored. So besides that, if we actually take the gun off and just throw it to the side, most people might do that. Okay, this is really bothering me. On the search for a better piece of paper. There. Final. Alright, so he looks cool. And as I just said, there's a little robot. You open this cockpit, actual opening cockpit. Let's get, okay, what the heck is his name? I can't remember. Come on, it has to be somewhere here. Wait. Oh! Aha! Let's see, Garros. Yeah, that's his name. So getting Garros in a more presentable form, he's a small little guy. I mean, like, let's put him against me real quick. He's tiny and he doesn't really want to stand because I'm trying. Besides that, he's actually kind of well detailed. I mean, just look at all those lines and a painted face. That's actually something you can't say about all of them. But I don't mind the backpack. Don't. Articulation, it's actually not too bad. We got a ball joint, look up and down. We got a swivel. Although I can't really show you it to its full extent here because one hand on the actual camera and one hand actually playing around with stuff. Again, I'm working on it. The arms can move forward at least, like all the way up if you want. Move back down. They can move outward, not very much. We got 2 hinges, as you can see throughout this video. Very loose hinge at the knee. Can also bend forward. Speaking of which, we can also bend it all the way forward. But we're not going to do that right now. Now, as I have just previously mentioned, you can fit them inside the cockpit, and there is a tab right, or more or less post right there, that you can put that little extension inside of. Now, also, these toys are all supposed to be like bases, or like just little play sets, which is amazing. Meaning we can actually take this panel, and through the use of transformation, we get a extra seating compartment for our little dudes. So just put them inside. And if we really wanted to, we can take his gun and put it inside to kind of make it look like he's actually manning it. Nice. We've also got these holes on his feet. And as you can see, we have 1 tiny peg, 2 tiny peg, 3 tiny peg, and 4 tiny peg. Again, on my camera, it's a little hard to see. Not the best. But we can actually tab them on there. And have them just stand. So look, it's like racing car game when you're trying to pick your favorite character. But besides that, let's actually get him to his robot mode, which is actually kind of cool. I want to see you see this transformation. So let's put him aside since he's obviously going to be the main show and show you his pancake of a transformation. Yep. Okay. Yeah, okay, get his little hands out. That is a really long arm. Yeah. Surprised I didn't call you long arm. Okay, now, besides all that jump cutting, let's get to the actual cool part. You flip up his crotch. Really funny. But yeah, that's not the actual cool part. What is the legs. You flip his little feetums out. Hopefully you can actually see it. And then we get this weird sort of leg setup. So you can actually take the leg, first tabbing it out. The thighs are attached like that. So you just untab those. But what you do is this. A little harder than one hand, but there you go. Just like that. Like, that just all hinges down like that. That is actually really cool. Now let's get to the pancake part. So we take this whole section, we flip that up. Whoa. Now we take these two hinges and we move these down. So let's move the first one. Alright, we're almost there. And now we have to move this. There is a little hole right there and a tab right there. So we're going to fold this down and now tab it in place. And now here we have him in his robot mode. And I guess while we're at it, let's come on. I gave him his gun, there you go. But you might notice two problems with him right now. One, that's a pretty big backpack with everything, and there's gotta be something you can do with that. Well, not to worry, my boy. There you go. You can make him shoot all his enemies, and with a actual little hinge over here, you can hinge it over and give room for... Oh yeah, right. We need to give him his head, which is where this little guy comes in. So we're going to fold his arms down. This is an optional step, but I'm going to do this off camera. I'm going to rotate his head around. Fold his legs in. And now this is the part of the show where we go, head! Head! Oh no, it's very hard to do. And now we have him in his completed robot mode, and he looks downright amazing. I mean, just how just spanking amazing his color scheme is with the blacks and the greens, and for some reason the crotch is the only shiny thing on there. I guess it should be. But then we gotta get to his weapons, and if you didn't think the rifle was overkill already, you'll definitely think this is overkill. It's kind of like a Megatron thing. And I'm not going to do it here because it's dumb, but you can actually, like, unpeg this and just put it in his hand. But that's stupid. And I love how they added this part in. Because on the original toy, you can actually flip this down and see, like, his tech specs, which is nice. All the pegs and all of the little hatches and that are still usable. Oh, this one's probably the best. And now we get to articulation. So his head is on a ball joint. We get the left and right. And tilt it. Sorry, you couldn't really see that. Again, this is kind of complicated. I need to get a stand. Alright, I'm going to fold this out of the way for a moment. The arms can move out to a pretty good extent. You can also move the arms forward. You can move the arms back. You can rotate the arms. You can bend the arms. And using that transformation hinge, you can bend it forward. And here's something you don't get to see on many Transformers toys nowadays. A wrist swivel. That's actually kind of impressive. And that inward thing. The legs are pretty good. They can move forward half decently. They can move backwards half decently. And they can also go out. Then we got thigh swivels that are extremely tight, actually, compared with all the other joints. We got a knee bend, and this is what you get for the toe. Very nice. So overall, Hardhead is a really nice figure, and, you know, just like buying it for like $15, it's definitely worth it. I mean, yeah, there is a complaint that I do have to get to. I can finger his feet, I guess, and his forearms, but, you know, this has been a reoccurring thing with Transformers nowadays. We gotta cut him some slack. Plus, just the sheer detail of this thing as well is amazing. The paint, yeah, it's not the best paint, but it's perfectly serviceable, especially for the color scheme. It's very cartoon accurate. So, yeah, that's Titans Return Hardhead in a nutshell. He's a really good toy. If you can pick him up, I suggest picking him up, or any of the other Titans Return stuff. But never get Galvatron, because for some reason, Hasbro cannot make a good Galvatron. That is not alluding to another video. But this is.